All right, let's peel back the layers on one of the most powerful and honestly misunderstood companies in the world. We all use Google literally every single day, but do you really know the massive company that's actually pulling all the strings behind the curtain? So let's just jump right in with a question that gets to the absolute core of it. I mean, we all think of Google as this behemoth, right? It's just impossibly huge. So what on earth could possibly be bigger than Google itself? Well, the answer is kind of simple, but also pretty surprising. It's a company called Alphabet, a colossal holding company that's quietly running not just Google, but a whole universe of other wild ventures that most people have never even heard of. Okay, so to really get what Alphabet is all about, we have to look at the big picture they're painting. You should think of it like a totally new blueprint for how a modern tech giant can even operate and grow. So yeah, here's the official textbook definition. But that word right there, conglomerate, is everything. This isn't just one giant company. Nope, it's more like a collection of different businesses, and Google just happens to be the biggest, most famous kid in the family. But that begs a huge question, right? Why? Why would a company as crazy successful as Google basically decide to demote itself and become just one piece of a bigger puzzle? And this timeline, wow, it just lays it all out so perfectly. The before and the after. Before 2015, you had Google Inc., and it was just this one massive blob. Everything from search and ads to self-driving cars was all stuffed under the same roof. It was kind of chaotic. But after 2015, they broke it all apart into this much cleaner, way more organized system, with Alphabet sitting on top. And you can see the why right here in this quote from co-founder Larry Page. See, the key thing to get is that they weren't trying to fix something that was broken. It was all about bringing focus and, well, accountability. For investors, it was huge. They could finally see how the money-making Google part was doing, completely separate from all those expensive, long-shot projects. And for the projects themselves, it gave them freedom. Their own CEOs, their own teams, they could move faster. All right, so let's break it down. There are two main parts to this whole Alphabet machine. And once you get this, you get how the whole thing works. And you can see it right here, perfectly split. On one side, you've got Google. This is the profit engine, the cash cow. It's the part that makes almost all the money. On the other side, you have what they call other bets. Think of this as the crazy innovation lab, the place where they're cooking up the future. Okay, so let's zoom in a bit on the Google side of things, because we need to see exactly where all the money that fuels this whole enterprise comes from. And yeah, no surprise here. Look at that chart. Advertising is king. It's not even close. That 80% from search and YouTube, that is the massive, reliable engine that pays for literally everything else. But here's the really important part. Google isn't just coasting on ad money. They're actively trying to build out other businesses. They're making a huge push into cloud computing to compete with Amazon and Microsoft. They're building their own hardware, like the Pixel phones, and they're growing those subscription revenues from YouTube and the Play Store. Okay, now for the fun stuff, the really exciting part. Let's talk about the futuristic, almost sci-fi projects that all that Google money makes possible. These are the other bets. So first, you've got Waymo. And look, this isn't just some side project. Waymo is one of the absolute leaders in the race to build fully autonomous self-driving cars. Then we have Verily. This company is all about the future of healthcare. They're using data, tiny electronics, all kinds of tech to try and figure out how we can detect and even prevent diseases way, way earlier. And then there's Calico. And this might be the most ambitious, the most out there bet of them all. This is a research company, and their mission is to combat aging itself. Yeah, you heard that right. It's a total moonshot. So, okay, let's zoom back out. When you put these two sides together, the profit engine and the innovation lab, you start to see this incredibly powerful self-sustaining loop they've created. And it's really a simple, almost genius three-step cycle. Step one, the core Google business makes just a massive amount of stable profit. Step two, they take that cash and pour it into these high-risk, super ambitious other bets. And step three, the dream is that one of those other bets will eventually grow up to become the next Google, and the whole amazing cycle starts all over again. So when you boil it all down, it's this simple. The incredible stability and profitability of today's business is what gives them the freedom to take these huge, potentially world-changing swings at the future. And that's really the final thought to leave you with. This whole structure, this ecosystem, it's incredibly powerful. It means a single company isn't just shaping the internet we use today. They're also in a position to potentially define the cars we'll ride in, the healthcare we'll get, and maybe even how long we live. Understanding this blueprint, well, it's pretty key to understanding the future they're trying to build for all of us.